4:15. Big event that's coming up in March of next year. We wanted to get you to give you the details on this one so you can do a bit of planning for this. And, of course, tickets are available now. It's being run by Main Connections, and Anthony Aloi, the Managing Director of Main Connections, joins me on the line now. G'day, Anthony.
Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Going very well, thanks, mate. Tell us a little about this big expo, the Thoroughbred Racing Expo you've got coming up in March at the Melbourne Showgrounds.
Yeah, myself and my business partner Rob, who has got sort of over 10 years' experience in running exhibitions, and myself as a horse lover, we sort of got our heads together and thought, you know, there's a home show, there's motor shows, there's caravan shows, there's fishing shows. Well, why isn't there a thoroughbred racing show where sort of people can go along, like me and you, or just the general public, and speak to the major trainers around and syndicators and the smaller stables, the small to medium stables, and get involved in racehorse ownership on that level.
It's amazing how many people, and I do have shares in a couple of horses, but it's amazing how many people, when they find that out about you, want to know all that information. How'd you get into it? Who do I talk to if I want a little? I don't want a whole horse sort of thing. I want a little interest in it. It's amazing how many people do want to. And Bryan Martin, of course, our race caller here at SEN, is involved as well in syndication.
Sure.
It's something that's opening up all the time, isn't it?
Well, the industry is enormous. There's no doubt about that, and there's a lot of owners. But there's a lot of people who want to be owners but know where to go. So the idea was to sort of make it really easy for people to come along. As I said, in familiar territory. Most people have probably gone to a home show or a car show or something similar. We want to sort of along the same format as that. And speak to the people who you need to talk to, and then make it a decision. Most people get involved through a friend of a friend of a friend, but we sort of want to sort of not eliminate that. That's going to continue to happen, but make it easier for people just to go along. Grab a group of friends, go along, throw some money in and go and buy a share on a horse. It really is that simple.
Yep. And what sort of, apart from obviously syndicators and people involved in the breeding of horses, who else will you have there, Anthony?
Well, look, perhaps the biggest name we've managed to jag so far is David Hayes. He's committed to come and exhibit for us. Obviously other trainers such as Danny O'Brien and Australian Thoroughbred Bloodstock will be there, who of course syndicated Jacklebury, run third in the Melbourne Cup. Clanbrook Racing, and also a big focus. We really plan to have a big focus on women in racing. So we're going to have a dedicated pavilion, which is going to be run by a couple of lovely ladies, Brooke and Joe, who are directors of Racing Women. So we really want to encourage new people to come along. As I said, there's a lot of people involved in the racing industry, but there's a lot of people who want to be involved in it and don't really know how to.
A lot of people obviously do like to have a punt and dabble with a couple of bucks. Not serious and not problem gambling in any way. But a lot of people don't understand gambling. There's a lot of gambling expressions that even Bryan and some of the racing people use sometimes that I don't quite get. Will there be the betting agencies be there as well?
There'll be a couple of those getting around, so we're in talks with a couple. We certainly don't want to flood it with the betting agencies, but there'll be opportunities to talk to those guys. There'll be opportunities to speak to education institutions as well. So if you want to get involved in the business of maybe syndicating or becoming a jockey or a trainer or whatever, you can go. There's courses to be done on those. So there'll be horse health. Basically, we're trying to gather the majority of the industry, if not all the industry, under a roof for a 2-day period for the general public to come along and have a look.
No, fantastic idea, Anthony. Anthony Aloi, who's the Managing Director of Main Connections. Bryan Martin is with us. We're about to get Bryan's call of the next race 7, in about 20 minutes from now. Just before we do, Bryan, what's the most asked question you get as a syndicator, and obviously someone who's been around the racing industry, for people who want to get into the industry?
Yeah, no, this is a wonderful idea. There was something similar, a good few years ago, probably about 20 years ago, called Racing, Pacing and Chasing, I think it was. It was an exhibition for thoroughbreds, harness horses and the greyhounds over at the exhibition centre, and it worked quite well. But Anthony's hit the nail on the head here, because in answer to your question there, Kevin, the question that I'm asked all the time is, how do I get involved? How do I get involved? And the industry has been negligent for a long time in helping people take that first step.
Yep.
You know that I have my own racing club. I'm a great believer in the syndication and on all levels, and the more people we can get involved, the more fun people can get out of the game. And it's, you know, you can enter it at a low-cost area. You can do it on a part payment idea, and it's the future of racing. There's no question of that. And just breaking that wall down as to how people get involved, that's so terribly important. So these guys have nailed this, and you know, people like David Hayes, who really is sort of reinventing himself in many ways with a huge complex up at Euroa, and he's fighting back to get back to the top of the tree where the stable have been for a long time. And again, they've got some great videos that I've been involved in putting together, so I'm sure they'd be on display, telling people more about the whole new operation up at Euroa for Lindsay Park. Racing stables, horse care is a huge industry here in Australia, so all those different facets will come together in this exhibition, so it'll work well.
Yeah, no, it's a terrific idea. Anthony, when have you got dates nailed for it?
We do, yeah. Out at the Melbourne Showgrounds on the 16th and 17th of March, so that falls on the Bendigo standalone meeting, so there's no racing in Melbourne that weekend. So yeah, hopefully we get as many people down there as possible to come and check it out. So there'll be free seminars, there'll be horses, parading. We've got the National Jockeys Trust involved, so the kids can come down and race against the jockeys. Gold coin donation, all the proceeds go to the National Jockeys Trust. So it's we really want to make it easy for people to get involved, not only for Dad or the bloke like me who likes a beer and a punt, but the family, the kids. Yep. Come down and check it out.
Yeah, and it is one of those industries that is very easily slanted towards the family. Good on you, Anthony. Good luck with it. 16th and 17th of March at the showgrounds. Tickets now, where can we get them and when can we get them?
You can get them online, or obviously tickets are available on the day as well. $15 to get in, and kids under 15 free.
Anthony Aloi there, the Managing Director of Main Connections. That Expo, the Thoroughbred Racing Expo, coming up on the 16th and 17th of March next year at the Melbourne Showgrounds. Good on you, Anthony.